There's a moment every man feels, but almost none understand. You're talking to her, and suddenly something shifts. Her tone changes. Her replies get shorter. She throws a little attitude into the conversation. She disagrees with something she never cared about before. She makes a slick comment that hits your ego just enough for you to notice it, and instantly, your mind starts racing. What did I do wrong? Why is she acting different? Did I say something? Is she losing interest? But here's the brutal truth most men never learn. She's not angry. She's not moody. She's not pulling away. She's testing your masculinity. Not the fake, performative masculinity men try to project online, but the real thing. Your emotional stability. Your confidence under pressure. Your ability to hold your frame when her energy changes. Because a woman doesn't test you when she's unsure about you. She tests you when she's curious about you. She tests you when she feels something for you. She tests you when she wants to know what kind of man she's dealing with. Most men fail these tests because they panic. They overreact. They try to fix everything instantly. They explain themselves like a guilty child. They try to win her approval back. They start performing instead of leading. They abandon their masculine center to chase her emotional state. And that's the moment she loses respect. Because what she's really doing in that split second of tension is holding a mirror up to you. She's watching your nervous system. She's watching if you break eye contact. She's watching if you get insecure. She's watching if you fold your energy down to keep her comfortable. She's watching if your confidence was real or fragile. Women don't test you to punish you. They test you to feel you. They test you to know if your strength is consistent or if it disappears the moment she applies pressure. And the way you respond in these tiny moments, these micro frictions, these emotional shifts, defines everything. Your attraction, your leadership, your authority, your frame, your dynamic. If you understand what these tests really are, you stop getting offended and start passing them effortlessly. Let's get into the exact signs she's testing your masculinity, the ones most men never notice until it's too late. A woman doesn't test the man she's indifferent about. She tests the man she feels something toward, because she wants to know if what she's feeling is safe. She needs to see whether your confidence is rooted or fragile, whether your masculinity is consistent or conditional, and whether the version of you she's seeing is real or an act. She tests because she instinctively needs to feel the strength behind your presence, not just the image. And every test, no matter how small, is really her way of asking one silent question. Can you handle me, yourself, and life, all at the same time? Most men crumble here. Not because they're weak, but because they misunderstand what's happening. They interpret her emotional shifts as rejection or disrespect, and they respond from insecurity instead of stability. They panic, overcommunicate, chase, compensate, or fold. And that's when she feels like she's dealing with a boy, not a man. But once you understand the psychology behind the tests, everything changes. You stop reacting emotionally, and you start responding with presence. Let's get into what these tests actually look like. Not as a list, but as they unfold in real life. One of the first shifts you'll notice is a subtle change in her tone. She's not arguing, she's not attacking you. She's simply disrupting the emotional comfort of the moment. She might give you a short reply, or answer in a colder tone, or show a flash of attitude you weren't expecting. It's tiny, but it's enough to throw most men off balance. What she's doing in that moment isn't random. She's creating a small amount of emotional turbulence to see how you hold yourself when the energy isn't perfect. She's watching your reaction, not your words. Do you lose your center? Do you get irritated? Do you try to fix her mood? Do you suddenly bend your energy to make her comfortable again? Or do you stay grounded and let the moment pass without it pulling you out of your masculine state? A woman feels safest with a man whose mood doesn't get hijacked by hers. Your calm is the answer she is looking for. There will come a moment when she lightly challenges you. Maybe she questions your opinion, gives you a teasing comment, or throws a playful dig at your confidence. It's not disrespect, it's pressure. Women know that the quickest way to reveal a man's emotional stability is to press against his ego. She wants to see whether your confidence is rooted internally or built on external validation. A fragile man gets defensive. He argues, explains, or tries to persuade her. He shows that his self-worth is easily cracked. But a grounded man stays still inside himself. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't perform. He doesn't need to win the moment. He remains relaxed, maybe even amused, because he's not operating from insecurity. She's not trying to break you. She's trying to feel whether you're real. This is one of the most misunderstood dynamics between men and women. Right after intimacy, physical or emotional, she will often withdraw a little, not because she regrets it, not because she's bored, not because something went wrong. It's instinct. Closeness makes her vulnerable. Vulnerability makes her emotional. Emotion triggers self-protection. So she creates distance to check whether the connection is stable or if you will become unstable without her validation. Most men fail this test immediately. They chase harder, overtext, question her, or try to pull her back into closeness. But what she's actually observing is whether your emotional balance depends on her responsiveness. A masculine man doesn't chase the void. He remains centered. He lets her have her space without losing his presence. He shows he is capable of holding both closeness and distance. And when she feels that steadiness, she gravitates back. Women can feel your pace, your energy, your timing, your consistency. All of it becomes a rhythm to them. So when she wants to test your masculinity, she disrupts that rhythm. She replies later than usual. She becomes less engaging. She slows down her energy. She is watching to see whether you panic, speed up, or start overcompensating. A man whose sense of worth is tied to her affirmation will instantly break his rhythm. He'll start messaging more, trying harder, or acting different. A masculine man stays in his own timing. His rhythm doesn't change just because hers does. He doesn't accelerate to match her withdrawal. He remains anchored in his own pace. Women deeply respect that, because stability is masculine, and rhythm is stability. At some point, she will cross a small line, intentionally or not. She'll be late. She'll cancel carelessly. She'll say something slightly disrespectful. She'll ignore something important you mentioned. She might push a joke too far. This is not malice. This is calibration. Women test boundaries to learn who you are, not your persona, but your backbone. Your reaction determines everything. If you let it slide because you're afraid of losing her, she senses immediately that your masculinity is conditional. If you get angry or loud, she feels your instability. But if you address it with calm confidence, no emotional charge, no aggression, just presence, she instantly understands the kind of man you are. A man who respects himself. A man who requires mutual respect. A man she can trust not to fold when it matters. Boundaries are not about dominance. They are about self-leadership. And women test them because they want a man who can lead himself. There will come a moment where she becomes emotional. Maybe she's stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated, or spiraling. And she isn't looking for you to solve her emotions. She's looking to see whether you remain steady while she's storming. A woman instinctively wants to feel the emotional containment of a man. She wants to know that he won't drown with her when the waves get high. If you match her emotion, lose composure, or let the chaos pull you out of your masculine state, she feels instantly unsafe. But if you remain calm, grounded, slow in your breathing, slow in your voice, she relaxes into her femininity because she feels the presence of a man who can anchor her. Masculine calm is feminine safety, and she tests your ability to provide that, not through logic, but through emotional unpredictability. One of the purest masculine tests is how a man handles resistance. When she disagrees with you, questions you, pushes back, or says no, she's watching for the one thing women find rare in men: composure under resistance. A man who crumbles, explains himself frantically, or argues aggressively reveals emotional instability. A man who stays grounded, unbothered, and adaptive reveals leadership. She wants to feel that you don't get thrown off course by disagreement. A man whose identity depends on approval will always fail this test. But a man who stays himself regardless of her reaction earns more trust than any smooth line ever could. At the core of every test is the same instinctive question: are you a man I can trust with my femininity? Not trust like loyalty. Trust like leadership. Trust like stability. Trust like emotional containment. Trust like self-respect. Trust like confidence that doesn't waver under pressure. A woman doesn't test you because she wants to control you. She tests you because she wants to surrender to a man she genuinely respects. And respect must be earned through consistency, not words. If you understand feminine tests, you stop reacting like a boy and start responding like a man. You become the man she can't manipulate, can't shake, and can't forget. Not because you're cold, but because you're rooted. That's the relentless man. If this video gave you clarity, if it opened your eyes to your own patterns, don't just sit there quietly. Like the video. Comment what hit you. Subscribe for more. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Stay relentless.